Hi everyone and welcome. I'm going to do a little practice today on a piece of Bach I'm working on, Partita number 1, B flat major, the Allemande. And there's this pesky passage that I always mess up my fingerings and or sometimes make more mistakes than I would like to. So I'm going to dig into it a little bit today. And I recently came across a book about practicing by Lido Dittmann, I believe is how you pronounce it. Who's actually a Cirque du Soleil performer and juggler. And he came up with this idea, or at least demonstrated this idea, of the 90% rule that I think applies to basically anything you're trying to get good at, but very much so in music. And the concept is this: you push to try and not perfect an idea or a skill, but you get close enough that you're like somewhat proficient. You may still be making mistakes, that's fine. But then you take it a step farther and make it harder. Instead of staying there and repeating it hundreds of times until it's perfectly consistent, what happens is your brain goes dull and you're not able to actually keep it consistent because your brain has gotten it so close to perfect that it actually tunes out that last 10%. And so it never really gets there. But if you challenge yourself to make it harder, what ends up happening is you now are challenging your brain and it has to adapt to the stress, thus actually making you quite a bit better at the skill that was easier, even though you're not actively practicing on that skill. So that's essentially how I would recap it. Highly recommend you buy his book and read it yourself. The audio version of it was like 2 hours and I listened on 2-speed in an hour. So it doesn't take too long to get through. It's been a while since I bought it. I think it's something like 15 bucks or something. Totally worth it. If any of you take piano lessons, it's probably the price of like a quarter of one of your private lessons, if that. So it's completely worth your time. And all that said, I'm going to apply this 90% principle to this passage today and see if I can get it more solid, because I'm tired of messing it up month after month of performing this piece. So here we go. I'll play it once. Okay, so you can get a flavor for what it sounds like. No, I can basically play it, and I can do it faster than that, but it's not consistent, and I'm always questioning my finger patterns while doing so. So what I'm going to do is not what I've done before, but new challenges to push this to the next level. Many of them are going to be ways that I've just simply never even tried before, so that my brain has to think of it in a new way. It doesn't mean they're harder than playing the original itself, but it's harder because I haven't tried this particular activity. So there's a lot of repeated notes on top here, like, and then, that sort of thing. So what I'm going to try is to play the repeated notes held instead of actually re-articulate them every time. Again, because I haven't done this, this is just going to cause me to think of it. So there we go. It was a little weird. I'm gonna immediately focus on the third one, which they're kind of in groups of 2, but the second big group or the third small group. That one for some reason really confused me. No, it was the fourth small group when I had my A minor in the left hand. So let me dig into that. Okay, the 2s are together, I notice. Not sure what caused that. I'm gonna have to back up to see the issue. Maybe I think I went to thumb instead of 2, and then it caused my orientation to be off. So 1, 2, perhaps that's all that I needed to know. So, yeah, that's what's throwing me. It's the 2 over the thumb. So thumb comes first. There it is. Okay. Now I'm going to try the whole passage again, because it wasn't perfect. That wasn't quite 90%, but it's also, it's still going to need a little bit of work. It's getting smoother, and I was much more confident on the fingering I messed up. So one more time, a little faster just to push myself. Okay, it's already, see, third repetition, new activity is already hitting that 80-90% mental comfort and clarity. I was having to think through it, so it wasn't just like a toss-off, like I could do it in my sleep, but that's exactly actually what we're not looking for. You want to push yourself past that as soon as you're at that point where you're like, I got it, but I felt a little insecure. Now I'm going to do a whole different activity. So how about I skip them? Just every note that's the repeated drone, I'm going to just leave them out. I feel like that's going to be even harder. So here we go. That was indeed harder. I have to think harder about it. And what I noticed is the drone is not the first of each group. There's actually this note on top that's not a repeated note. And then it's not until that it becomes a repeated note. So I was mistaking the highest note for the repeated note and thus leaving out more notes than I should have. So I'm going to try to incorporate those back in this time. There we go. Cool, it went better. I still missed one, and I now know why I was doing it, because when I'm coming down, I really rely on the physical weight in the pinky to get that feeling. So when it's not there, I'm like a little tense, and then I was hitting those pinkies too hard when I wasn't trying to hit them at all. So then I overcompensated when I came up top, and I didn't get the top note. So now I'm going to try just really pronouncing the beginning by dropping into it, and then I'm going to lightly rotate into the side that the repeated note is, even though I'm not playing it. Yeah, I only got one too loud and none of them too soft that I meant to play. So one more time, a little faster. And what I start to hear now is how coordinated the hands really are, despite this being eighth notes. That's just regular, and the right hand's this up and down. But with the exception of the first start of each note group, all the offbeats are missing. They're just filler. So there's this beautiful harmony that's formed of either thirds or sixth intervals on the eighth note beat. And I notice that more when I take the drone out. So I'm going to do that one more time to really pronounce that. Okay, a little slower. Now I'm just autopilot, so I need to really focus, go a little slower. Got it. There it is. All right, let me make sure I'm still rolling. My phone just keeps dropping out these days. I keep it too close to max storage. Anyway, next activity, how can I change this up? I could block them. Yeah. What I'm doing is combining the note before the high repeated note with the high note. So instead of rotating, trying to preserve the fingering I'm using and playing it at the same time. That's a new way of thinking about it. So let's try that. See, that's already a challenge because I thought I went to 4. I guess it's 5. It is 4. Then 5. Then 2. Oh, that's really weird. Yeah, that's a good challenge. Okay, the reason this is throwing me off is I'm so used to hearing a group as over and then hearing the high note prepare the next one. And because I hear it that way, I'm not thinking of that high note as any relationship to the note before. That may be exactly why my fingering is inconsistent. I'm not seeing how the end of one thing leads into the beginning of the next thing. And this is highlighting that majorly. So I can't do this by memory. I've got to double check it first. So here we go. 5, 5, 5. Oh, that's the trick, right? If it's those two, the last one it's on its own. That's why I was messing it up. So it does go to 4 first, then 5, then 2 over. So 1, 5, 1, 2. Okay. 4, 5. The last note on its own. 4, 5, and 2. 4, 5. Okay, I think I have this. 4, 5, 1. Oh, that just happened again. I think what I did is I jumped the octave too early instead of came there. So I'm going to try that again. Oh, that is what I was doing. I was just about to do it again. Okay, I need to make sure to stay in the high register longer. So, and here, and here. There we go. Okay. 4, 5, 1, 4, 5. Okay, I'm going to try it again. A little faster. It was so close. second one. It is 4/5. Okay, it's the double thumb I'm missing. I want to go to 2 too early a lot of the time, just physically. But the 2 is reserved for the very end in most of the groups that I chose. So there we go. Thumb, thumb, 2. Thumb, thumb. Oh, that means that's all thumb. Good. That's something I just realized. Just be annoying and keep double checking this. Good. All right, here we go. I think that was a little too easy. Like that hit that 90%. I'm gonna do it one more time though. Okay. Let's see. I held them. I left them out. I blocked them. What would be something else to try? Well, singing is hard. I'll sing it. Oh, I messed up. Okay, I didn't find that too challenging, and actually I don't know how much that's going to help because pitches is not really what I'm struggling with, it's more fingering. So I'm going to sing the fingering. That is much harder. So here we go. 4, 3, 2, 1, 5, 1, 2, 5, 1, 5, 2, 1, 2, 5, 1, 5, 1, 5, 3, 2, 1, 4, 1, 5, 1, 5, 3, 2, 1, 4, 1, 5, 1, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 4, 1, 5, 2, 5, 3, 2, 1, 4, 1. Oh man. 5. Turn. That's too many. 2, 1, 3, 2. Okay, that showed me something really interesting. I got them almost all right. Just trying to imagine it as I was going. What was it? There was this one. Oh, I know now why I was cutting this early. And jumping is because the left hand does that. First it's close, and then it jumps the octave. Close, jumps the octave, close, and then jumps the octave. So the alternating, what was happening is when I went to the bigger jump, that was influencing wanting to do it 2 times in a row. So I'm just going to do that a couple times. See, because I need to make sure I stay up and don't let that jump feel happen twice. Okay, good. It's already hit that 90% mark. So let me try the passage as written by memory, a little slow, and just see what happens now. I do feel like that was easier. The only question I had is right at the beginning. it's all 5 on the first one. Sometimes I want to throw in a 4, but I shouldn't. Because in fingering, you need to be really consistent. So. Nice. Okay. That's actually about the tempo. No, a little faster. Okay, so here we go. Full tempo. I'm going to get into it. Okay, good. So I have one other thing I can think to do, not to strengthen the fingering, but just simply the accuracy, because those jumps give me that much anxiety. This is all fine. Not going to miss any of that, but it's that, because it's a ninth, and so many people are used to reaching an octave that a ninth throws it. It's not even so much a jump, but because it's not a regular position, it's normal to feel like it's a jump and then overcompensate. And I do sometimes go to like a key higher than I should. So one great way to practice jumps that are not like halfway across the keyboard are do it purely in the fingers, stretching like this, without moving any part, the wrist, the elbow, the shoulder, and get used to that. And then do the opposite. Keep your hand in a closed fist and move only using the elbow moving outward. So you get awareness of how the jump feels spreading out and how it feels moving to it. And in reality, it's a little bit of both. It's not only that, and it's not only that. Only the arm will cause you to overshoot. Only the fingers will cause you to be tense and play vertically. So that's the next thing I'm going to try just for technique building. I used wrong finger. A little slower. Funny. Okay, this one right here. Okay, all I notice in that is that when I'm reaching, I'm coming up way higher than I need to. I want to practice more just going left and right and not up and down. So that's the goal here. Finger stretching, staying close to the key. Here. A little faster, the same exercise. There's 2 of them. Right here. This time I'm going to exaggerate letting go, keep my hand wadded up, and just go with the elbow getting right to the key it needs to be. And one more time. That one felt too jerky, but the hand one felt too like, oh, I'll barely get this. So I'm going to now open the hand and move and see if I can narrow the feeling of feeling like I'm throwing to it and just bring more of a relaxed feeling to it. So here we go. Wow, that actually did work. I just know that from previous experience that I've never tried it on this passage. But I've done it on other passages where it's a similar issue of like just far enough that it feels like you won't land it. So there we go. There's a legit practice session on a passage I've been having anxiety over. It feels cleaner mentally, sounds better musically, and I definitely feel more confident with the fingering. So hopefully that was an interesting concept for you. Remember the 90% rule. Get something 90% comfortable. Don't worry about that last 10, make it harder. your brain will stay fresh and you will actually improve more in the long run. Thanks for watching.